Welcome to this Yin Yoga flow practice. Today we'll bring mindful movement into a sequence of Yin poses. This is an easy, feel-good session to release tension and increase flexibility. Settle into a comfortable cross-legged seat, using a cushion if that makes it more comfortable, and we'll begin with deep breathing. Rest your hands on your knees and draw your shoulders back and down. Root down through your sitting bones and lift your spine tall. Extend upward through the very top of your head, as if a string were attached to it and gently pulling you upward. Draw your chin down ever so slightly toward your chest, bringing a sense of length into the back of your neck. Now take a deep breath in and slowly breathe back out. Getting ready to count to 5 with your next breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause and hold the breath. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause and hold it out. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause and hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause and hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause and hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause and hold. Last time, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause and hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause and hold. Relax your effort now and return to an easy, natural breath as you sit quietly and feel the effects of this pranayama. And now take a breath in, and as you exhale, gently drop your chin toward your chest. Roll the head to one side, stretching into the opposite side of the neck, and roll your head back to center and over to the other side. And continue stretching side to side a couple more times. And now let your head rest to one side. And extend the opposite arm out, reaching through the fingers and feeling the front of the shoulder as you reach the hand back in space. And bring this hand to the floor so the fingertips just touch the floor next to you. And take your other hand up to hold the side of your head so you can gently pull some traction into the neck. Breathe and relax here as you rest and soften into this position. Now slowly release both arms down, chin to the chest, and roll the head to the second side. And continue side to side a couple more times, just moving the energy in the neck after that long hold. Last time. And come over to the second side now, resting the weight of the head over. And reach out through the opposite arm, extend through your fingertips, and slowly drop the fingertips to the floor as you take the other arm around to the outside of the head and gently pull traction into the neck. Feel the space between the shoulder and the ear. Breathe and relax here. Slowly release your head, bring your chin back to center, and roll your head side to side a couple more times, feeling the flow of energy after the stillness, feeling both sides of your neck. Bring your head back to center, and let's come into a seated position for caterpillar. Extend both legs forward. Settle down through your sitting bones and start to ease your way forward over your legs. Let your hands rest on your shins or feet. And with your next inhalation, lift up halfway out of the pose, lengthen your spine. And exhale back down, and we'll do this a few more times with your breath rising up and lengthening. With your exhale, rounding and softening. 2 more. Last time. With your exhalation now, release all the way into caterpillar for a long hold. Feeling this slow stretch of your entire back body. Gently and slowly rise up from caterpillar and transition onto hands and knees. Cross your ankles and come forward. And we'll move into some hip circles to move the energy after that long forward bend. Draw your hips to the left and back toward your heels a bit, and to the right and forward. Continue in this direction a couple more times, nice and slow. Next time around, change it up, go the other way around. Feeling the movement of your hips and lower back. Let this be your last circle. As you return to center, step your right leg forward into dragon. This is our yin lunge. First, we'll bring some somatic movement into it, shifting hips side to side, both hands on the inside of the foot. You could look over one shoulder and then the other. And then when you're ready, right hand comes onto the knee and twist your chest. Look up to the sky and then look back down. Now we'll make some big circles with the right arm, the hand reaching toward the back foot, and then up and over, reach toward the front of your mat. And repeat, moving through this big arc as your gaze follows your hand, forward and back, feeling tension release from your shoulder and upper back. And when you're ready, bring both hands to the floor on the inside of your foot to settle into stillness in dragon pose. Adjusting your body so that the angles feel comfortable and so you can feel the stretch in the target area of the front of the left thigh and front of the left hip. Softening down through the pelvis and through the left hip bones. And breathing into what you feel. Release now and step the front foot back and change sides for dragon with the left leg forward. Both hands on the inside of the foot as you let your hips sway side to side, feeling into the nooks and crannies of your pelvis and thighs, looking to one side and the other side. And when you're ready, place your left hand on top of your knee and twist your chest to the left. You can look back behind you and then look back down at the floor. And look back up, roll the right shoulder toward your back and soften your right hip toward the floor. And take your left arm up through your big circle, reaching fingers back and all the way back up, reach forward and gaze down. Move back and forth through your circle at your own pace. Last time back. And as your hand comes forward, rest it on the floor, settling into your yin dragon. Make any final adjustments so you feel an easy stretch in the front of your right hip, resting in the bones of your arms. Breathing in and out with a slow and steady rhythm. Slowly release and return to hands and knees. Bring your knees to hips width. Walk your hands in front of you to come into puppy. Draw your heart down toward the floor. You can choose to keep your head at a hover or rest your forehead on the floor. Take a big breath into the back of your heart. As you exhale, soften and surrender, feeling the stretch throughout your shoulders, chest, ribs, and upper back. Gently lift up out of puppy pose and make a slow and gentle transition onto your back. Settling down and drawing your knees in toward your chest, giving yourself a hug here. Gently rocking side to side, feeling into your lower back and sacrum. Now take one hand onto the top of each knee and extend your legs forward with straight arms. And then pull the knees in and wrap your arms tightly as you lift your head toward your knees, squeezing in and releasing down. And come into figure 4. Place your right ankle over your left knee and clasp behind your left thigh or in front of your shin so you can draw the legs in and feel a stretch in your right buttock, throughout your outer right hip, and breathe into what you feel, releasing tension with each exhalation. Slowly and gently release the legs. Take your time switching sides. Left ankle over the right knee. Draw your legs in and clasp behind your right thigh or in front of your shin. Settling into this slow stretch throughout the outer left hip, into the glutes, into the buttock on the left side. Slowly release figure 4. Settle your feet down onto your mat, keeping your knees bent and placing your feet almost as wide as your mat. We'll come into a wide-legged bridge, lifting the hips, and start to explore a figure 8 movement of the hips, or any movement that feels good now to move the energy through your back, your hips, and your legs. And slowly settle your hips back down to the floor. Draw your knees in. Take one hand onto each knee and circle your knees in a clockwise direction a few times, nice and slow. And then circle the other way a few times, taking your time. Coming back to center, place your feet on the floor and set up for twisted roots, crossing your left knee over your right knee and letting both knees come toward your right. You can explore straightening the bottom leg a little more or keeping the legs pretty tightly tucked. See what feels good. Adjust your shoulders as needed and settle into a long, restful twist. Breathing easily. Slowly bring your legs back up to the center and take your time switching sides. Left knee over the right, coming to the left with your tighter cross or a looser cross. In yin, there's never an exact alignment. You're always encouraged to find the angles that feel good to stretch the target area. This target area is the spine. Feel the twist throughout your spinal column, breathing into the spaces between the vertebrae, softening with each exhale as the spine releases tension. Gently and slowly bring the knees back to center and straighten out your hips and shoulders on your mat. Draw your knees in toward your chest. Take one hand onto each knee and extend the knees away like we did before. And then hug the knees in tightly as you lift your forehead up towards your knees and squeeze into a ball. And now reach down to hold the bottoms of your feet and come into happy baby pose. Rest your head back down. Let the soles of your feet shine up toward the sky. And gently rock side to side, massaging throughout your hips and your spine. With this last pose, you can choose to bring as much movement or stillness as you wish. It might feel good to extend through one heel and then the other, alternating sides. Doing whatever makes your body happy here. Maybe it feels nice to extend out through both heels. Finding your stillness now, if you haven't already. And breathe into the stretch that you feel. And now gently release happy baby and slowly make your way into your final resting position on your back. If it feels good, spread your arms and legs out wide in star, or take any position that feels good on your back. Taking this time to integrate all that we've done in this practice, letting the energy settle in your body, knowing that there is nothing you need to do but rest and allow the body's healing response to take over. Gently feel your breath as it flows in and out of your body. Now take a deeper breath into your belly and into your heart. And as you exhale, gently stretch out through your arms and legs, fingers and toes. And bend your knees and roll over onto one side, slowly making your way up into a cross-legged seat. With your spine tall, circle your arms around and inhale. Exhale one arm to the side for an easy side bend. Inhale both arms up and over to the other side. Inhale back up to center, palms meet overhead, and pull your hands down in front of your heart. And that's our Yin Yoga flow practice. Thank you so much for joining Devi Daily Yoga. Thank yourself for taking the time to take care of body and mind. I hope this practice helps you to be patient and gentle with yourself and others today. I'll see you again soon the next time we move together. Namaste.